I'm live. I'm live. This is the first time I've ever been live on YouTube. And before I thought through it and planned a whole bunch of stuff or wrote a script or anything, I just hit the live button. And I'll tell you why. I hit the live button. Maybe people will pop in here, maybe they won't. One Grand Film at this point right now has under 500 subscribers. We're at like 400 and something subscribers. So um, first I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm trying to, what these videos are going to be. I told you I didn't script this. What these videos are going to be is chronicling the journey of trying to launch an indie film grassroots campaign to try and reboot indie cinema in theaters. So here's the tagline: 3,000 theaters in 90 days on a budget of $10,000 to start. Today is day one of 90. So my goal, and I know I'm going to eat my hat for saying this, is to try and put a video out every day of this journey so you can follow me through the good and the bad and the ugly as this journey progresses. Now, I had this idea back in March. I was shooting a movie in Louisiana, driving back and forth between Austin and Louisiana, and I had a lot of time to kind of sit and think. And this was at the beginning of the year, where if you follow indie film and horror and distribution, you saw the thing about Markiplier, aka Mark Fishbach, who released his film Iron Lung. He was originally targeting about 60 theaters. He went to the theaters. He said, "I'd like to play my movie." They said no. He said, "I have an audience." They said no. We hear that all the time. And so he went directly to his audience and said, ask your theater, email your theater, call your theater, and ask them, tell them you want to see the movie in the theater. And so what happened very quickly is he went from 60 theaters to 3,000 theaters. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you know this story, I know what you're thinking. If you don't know this story, here's what the people who know this story are thinking. Mark Fishbach has 38 million subscribers. Markiplier. 38 million people. So when he called on his audience, they went out in droves. They, very easy for theaters to go like, there's an audience here, let's capitalize on this. So what am I doing? I'm aware of this. I'm aware of the deficiency. I started this video telling you that I have 400 subscribers on this channel at this point. So I'm not trying to perfectly copy what he did, because I don't have those followers. But there was an interesting video with Mark where he was talking about how he had about 30, he had people telling him that that theaters were taking notice at about 30 emails. It only took about 30 emails for these theaters to say, "Hey, there's something here." Because theaters don't usually get emails, right? Especially from fans demanding a movie that they don't already have. So he sort of accidentally stumbled upon something, maybe, and hey, maybe through this whole journey, Mark will want to reach out and we'll have a conversation about it. But I think he stumbled upon something, which was that, all the big studio fixtures have been in place and they've been a thing for so long that nobody really considered how to go outside of those. And yes, you can go directly to theaters and you can ask for rentals, which generally cost somewhere between like $2,000 and $5,000 just to rent the space, which becomes very, very hard to even break even, because you've got to pack those theaters out. You got to get enough margin that you can make it lucrative. And so usually you'll do a theater rental or a four wall, as they call it, for a couple theaters, just to say you had a theatrical run, and it's really not at the benefit of the filmmaker monetarily. And then the other version of getting into theaters is you go to festivals, you win Sundance, and A24 buys your movie and puts it in theaters. And the likelihood of that happening is near zero. So what is the middle ground? The middle ground, I think, is what Mark discovered. And so moving forward 2 months, there was another film that had a little bit of success like this called Hunting Matthew Nichols, where $275,000 budget horror film, found footage, Not found footage, like sort of half documentary. So it sort of poses as a documentary, very much kind of how Blair Witch Project did. And they got a meeting with Regal, and Regal decided to put them in 1,000 theaters. Yes. So great question, Spencer. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Yeah. So I'll tell you what I did. Is I built a platform called demandthescreen.com. And basically, what it does is you come in, you enter your name, email address, and zip code. And my backend goes out and finds your theater, finds your zip code, and matches you to a theater within a 200-mile radius. For the initial 26 theaters that we are looking for right now, or look that were activated right now, those emails will go directly. So you'll put that stuff in, it'll take you to the next page where it's going to give you a one-click email that you can send directly to the theater that you've been matched with. So it's not asking the fans to find the email, go to the phone book and like look through. It's like we've baked in the process, so it matches you to an email. You hit that, it records it on our end, it lets us know how many demands have been sent, and we're aiming for that 30 theater target. So far, it's working. We launched on Saturday. We did a soft launch with just the cast and crew, the people who helped make the two movies. And listen, I don't, as much as I, care and love my movies, I'm not trying to make this about my movies. I'm trying to make this about like, let's see if we can break this system and get enough people involved that we can create a new avenue for indie filmmakers to actually see their movies on the big screen. It doesn't even need to be a wide release. It just needs to be, how do I just have like the direct conversation with the theater, prove that I can generate enough demand that I don't have to pay that like $5,000 entry fee to be shown in a theater, but we can do a rev split. So a 50-50 split is how Markiplier's thing went. So that's what we're trying to replicate. We did a soft launch. We've had about, what are we at? Can I share my screen? I don't even know how to share my screen on this thing. Oh, I can share my screen. Okay, beautiful. Hold on. Let me pull this up and we can look at it together. Demandthescreen.com. We're live on this tab. Let me pull this up. So I'll show you exactly what we're doing. Show, don't tell, right? Okay, so here's what we got. We've got two different landing pages. One is demand the screen. Any cinema doesn't die, it gets taken. So this is more aimed at the movement side of like, let's start a revolution. We're split testing another landing page that's more centered around the movies. So we're kind of doing some data collection there. But basically, we've had almost 250 since Saturday just come through from the cast and the crew. 23 cities active. You can see here's the form. Here's the movies. So you can see those. We'll be dropping trailers in the next couple of weeks. And here are the theaters themselves that we have. So you can hover over any of these. You can zoom in on these and see kind of the ones that are in your area. And then you can see like Britannia Theater, we've had 66 outreaches just for that theater, 41 for the Texas Theater, 37 for Vidiots in LA, and Austin Film Society. So we intentionally went out to as many indie theaters across the country to give that national feel right away. That would have the highest likelihood of actually screening the movies. So what has happened in 4 days is we've already had 4 theaters kind of start conversations with us. So they've reached out and we are actively talking to them about having screenings in New York, Colorado, Louisiana, and Dallas so far. So it's working. It's working even on a really small level. It's working, which I think is pretty exciting. So feel free to come in. Now, there are 2 options when you come in, and one is being a supporter, which is just like you send the email and you fire off your email that says, hey, I'd like to see this movie. And then you sit back and wait for us to tell you the movie is ready. You go buy your ticket and you can go watch the movie in the theater, which is great. We love supporters. You can also sign up to be a captain, which means you are also taking on part of the ownership of this whole movement. You're activating people in your own community. You're trying to get other people to the theater. You're competing for things like free tickets, cast and crew. You can introduce the movie. We're doing cast and crew Q&A screenings for somewhere between 25 and 50 of the initial screenings. So we'll be traveling all over the country with this. Signed posters, big like plaque, nice signed posters with your name on it for the captains that really come through and do the most, and a bunch of stuff in between. We've also got a school community, demand the screen, school.com, school with a k.com/demand the screen. That is a place where we'll be doing town halls. We'll be doing daily, probably daily updates, as things kind of heat up. And that's a place that we can tell everybody what's working best. We can update. We can talk directly to anybody that wants to be involved, and make it so you don't feel like this is a thing happening behind an email address that you might get every now and then, but like it's happening out in the open with a bunch of other people that are really excited about it. So when you sign up, you'll have the opportunity to either be a captain or be a supporter. If you're a captain, you get your own referral link. We track all that. You've got your captain dashboard, and you get to see the whole thing happening. And then we will be leaning on those captains to interface with people, like when we're doing red carpet stuff, and you have captain badges, and like the captains will be the people that will be actively helping us kind of keep this thing up and moving as we go. So that is what Demand the Screen is. Now, today is day one of 90. Today, I am also launching this out to the One Grand Film community. So you might be in the One Grand Film community watching this after the fact. And that is an email list of, I've got about 14,000, 15,000 in my total system. About 8,000 of those will get an email today. And 1,900 or so are in my other school community. So if you're looking for a place, if you're a filmmaker, you're looking for a place to grow, you don't know what One Grand Film is yet. It's a community of filmmakers that are all collaborative. So it's not really, it's not about the day rate. It's about the experience of getting together with people who actually believe in making things, regardless of how much permission or money is available. They're just kind of out and getting scrappy together. There's courses in there. There's calls with me every other Friday. And there are people to work with. So that's what One Grand Film is. I also have a private community where I help filmmakers make their first movie. In the last 12 months, we've had 36 films shoot. These are all from filmmakers of varying experience levels, from people who know nothing at all to filmmakers with 35 years of experience working on, Transformers and Fast and the Furious and stuff like that. So it's a very cool place. It's very supportive. It's very collaborative. I know I've used that word a million times, but that's really what it's based around. Is everybody needs those opportunities to get started. And so part of what this is I'm using my two films as the crash test dummy to develop this platform that will eventually go out to filmmakers for a reasonably small amount of money. Obviously, there's got to be some overhead for us to be able to manage ad costs and work on creative and engage with the theaters, and we'll build out a little team. But this is something that will be available to other filmmakers. And guess what? I'm going to go out there and stumble through the bramble with a blindfold on and make all the mistakes and fall down all the hills and perfect it. So by the time you guys get your hands on it, it's nice and smooth and streamlined. So that is what we will be doing for the next 90 days. I'm going to sign off. I didn't even script anything. I just wanted to jump on before I thought too hard about this and just put the first update out there. So if you're watching this, thank you for being here. Follow along for the journey. It's going to get interesting. I'm going to try and keep the updates going as they come in. And we are currently the status of the two films. They are both locked cuts. Silt has gone through color. It is currently, I'm approving the final cue of the score today. I'll be flying out to Colorado where the sound team is working on both films. Wait, sorry, what? You asked a question before I gave my second example. Um, I answered that one, I think, right? Emailing just local theaters. So we're emailing theaters all over the country. Um, Sorry, can you ask the whole question again, Spencer? Sorry, I think I missed the full question. I just wanna make sure I get it right for you. Dead Dawn is currently in color, so it's Dead Dawn and Silt. Dead Dawn's in color right now. It's also with the same sound team. They're tag teaming both films, so I'll be sitting in with them for the final mix in the next week and a half. Then we're getting color back. We're currently cutting trailers, so there's a lot happening right now, and we've got a very short window before we actually start um, putting this thing out there. I was in the middle of giving another film example, but you cut me off. Hunting Matthew Nichols. There was there was Iron Lung and then Hunting Matthew Nichols were the two films that went out there and independently distributed their films without distributors. Regal took on. Oh yeah, it's probably that one. So Regal gave them 1,000 theaters. They launched Hunting Matthew Nichols in 1,000 screens from one conversation. They had seen the movie, they thought it would play really well. Hunting Matthew Nichols did a really good little marketing campaign to get their fan base engaged with what they were doing. So they had like posters all over the place. They had like a little game you can play on their website, but it kind of pulled you into the world. And so I guess you could say this is sort of, what we're doing for these two movies is really just trying to use them as like I said, crash test dummies for this whole revolution. The thing that I've noticed a lot is that a lot of filmmakers will do this once for themselves and then they kind of close the door behind them. And I really wanted to take this and like, let's build a whole platform that anyone can use to do this for their films as well. So that's the goal. Everything is being built with that in mind. So we can basically we'll probably take on a small number of films early 2027 to just keep testing. And then as things grow, we'll probably take on about 20 films in 2027 and aim for about 60 films in 2028 and aiming for 200 films in 2029. So that's the goal. We'll see how stupid I look 3 years from now after all this, or maybe how smart. You're going to shoot your 10K film in October and try and release in March. That's a tight turnaround. That is a really, really tight turnaround for post. But hey, man, all sending you all the vibes to get it done. I love that. I love that like tenacity to go out there and just make it happen. So yes, day job, post-production, day job. No, I get it. I literally right off camera right here. I guess you can kind of see it. This is one drive, and then there's another drive next to it that are both of my movies. And yeah, doing two at once is insane. We shot both films in 6 weeks last year, and that was started in February, finished in March, and we're just now getting them finished. So power to you, man, and stay here and stay updated and stay tuned. And I can't wait to hear how your film goes as well. And hopefully by the time you're ready to release this thing, especially if you want to look at self-distribution, maybe this will be the most interesting route to go at that point. And yeah, we should talk in March and let me know where your film's at, because maybe yours can be one of that initial first batch if you want to try and chase that way down. I have not. I need to. Yeah, Luke is he's on my list of people that I need to talk to in regards to this, because I know he's building another self-distribution platform, and I would rather team up and band together and build, instead of building tiny little, fortresses of our own and throwing rocks at each other. Like, let's build a freaking kingdom together. That's my goal too. So yeah, I'd like to talk to Luke. I'd like to talk to Noam Kroll. I'd like to talk to Markiplier. Yeah. Is he awesome? Great. I love everything he's putting out there. I signed up for his self-distribution platform updates as well. I don't know what he's building, but I've also got OGF AI, my AI platform that will be a one click, like you want to deliver your film, it's already inside the system. You can deliver it direct to the self distribution platform that's already built within OGFAI, and then the theatrical thing will be, available as well. So, but yeah, I mean, we've got a long way to go on actually building out the self distribution side of things. So yeah, I mean, if Luke's already done half the work there, then I don't know. Maybe there's some magic there to be made. But yeah, thanks for being here, Spencer. Thanks for giving me somebody to talk to on this live. I just jumped on for yeah, just to throw that first video out there. But I'm going to try and do this. God, I'm gonna try and do it every day. We'll see where I'm at 90 days from now. But yeah, thanks for being here. I'm gonna sign off. I'm gonna post this in the school community. Spencer, you're already in. I recognize your name. Are you already in the school community? Okay, perfect. Well, I'm gonna post this video in there right now with the full breakdown of what we're doing. So yeah, sign up to be a captain if you got it in you. And yeah, hope to connect in the future. Thanks so much, man. And see you in school.